Hello. Let's get to some new content. Begin investigation. Day 5, Tuesday. Jot Al. Proceed. Or AI. Sorry, that's an I.
The scene is being inspected
Oh, hold on.
without
That's
you.
my bad. I didn't. I thought it was gonna take us to the beginning of that day. That's my apologies. Then we have to do the scene again.
This time the body didn't disappear. However, you lost consciousness. I didn't expect you to faint. Seeing that corpse must have been incredibly shocking. I did not predict you to be the fainting type. I suppose humans are unpredictable.
Also, sir, right eye at that time.
Now that you're back, let's get back to business. You are conscious, are you not? Are you at a loss for words? Date, don't let negative thoughts consume you. Thinking that Iris died because of me. If I never took her to Ota's, this wouldn't have happened. If you truly believe that, then your brain is completely rotten. Or perhaps when you saw the corpse, your head became filled with images of blooming yellow dandelions.
What?
Oh, you're talking now. Was I correct? If you consider the situation logically, even an elementary school student would understand.
Huh?
Fine. Allow me to pluck some of those dandelions from your mind. I will ask 3 questions. Please answer honestly.
But I remember where we were in this timeline.
First question. The cold storage warehouse was not in regular operation. But even so, the AC was on, and a minus 58-degree temperature was maintained. Why is that?
To preserve something.
Yes. Let us move on to the next question. Second question. There was something strange about the corpse. Do you remember what that was?
Either found inside of a forklift or missing the right eye.
That is a unique factor. But there was something else.
Okay, I'm sorry. I knew it was one or the other.
The culprit was afraid that the body would be discovered, so they hid it under the hood. But why there? The ocean is right here. If they really wanted to hide the body, they could have put weights on it and sunk it into the water.
But we do not know for certain that the culprit was attempting to dispose of the body. There is something more unusual. What is unnatural about that?
Isn't it strange? The culprit hid the body because they didn't want it to be found. But then they cover it with a cloth. That implies they thought that someone would eventually find it.
I explained earlier. And even if they were responsible, it is not uncommon that murderers feel a sudden urge of remorse or pity for their victim.
So the cloth was a sign of pity?
That is a possibility.
Sorry, apparently it's the top answer. Yeah, that makes
Iris's
sense.
body was completely frozen. The temperature read negative 58. With Iris's weight... Just wondering, but how much do you weigh?
Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady that?
105 pounds.
I see. 105, huh? It should have taken about 18 hours to freeze solid. But we were...
Wait a moment. Before you draw your conclusion, allow me to ask my final question. Question 3. 2 days ago, Sunday night, you found a dead body in the cold storage warehouse.
It's a claymation.
But afterward, you visited the Sagan household and discovered that Iris was in fact still alive. Why?
You mean...
You've got it.
Bolted into the warehouse and I was shot out of a gun.
I don't believe it.
The stomach is swollen slightly. She appears to have been pregnant.
How?
Do not worry. The uterus does not contain a fetus.
You mean after she was killed?
No. The fetus was not present in her body when she was killed. She must have been killed after giving birth. The distended stomach does not immediately shrink after birth. The expanded uterus takes some time to return to its normal size. This evidence...
Am I dying here? It's not a claymation?
This corpse isn't Iris.
Thank you.
It's someone else.
Which means...
Iris is still alive.
Not necessarily. She could be alive. We haven't confirmed that yet. Multiple stab wounds with a single-edged, sharp object to the victim's back. Judging by the size and shape of the marks, the weapon was most likely a kitchen knife. This matches what you said on Sunday.
See, like, when we turned on the X-ray, I thought we'd be seeing bones, because we've been seeing bones every other time. You can see why I'm confused and thought it was a fake.
Time of death?
Impossible to determine. This body has been completely frozen for at least 10 years.
10 years? She was killed more than 10 years ago?
Exactly. Her identity is unknown. Her killer is also unknown. But there is one likely suspect.
Who?
Let's consider the clues. The scene. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Sunday night, we saw So here. And there is something else about So Sajima. We witnessed someone similar to Iris being stabbed repeatedly in So's Somnium.
But it wasn't Iris. It was this woman.
That is highly likely.
What we saw was So's memory from more than 10 years ago.
I believe that is the case.
Renju and So?
But we still do not know where Renju is.
That means that we need to talk to...
So Sajima.
It has been like a week and a half, maybe? I forget when I started this game. Because I've done this route, so I was, you know, still kind of confused. Probably not a weekend, probably like a week. We spent a lot of time on the left-hand side. Iris Verabest still unknown. I'm worried about her, but without any leads, we'll just be looking for her blindly. I should focus on the investigation for now. Eventually lead me to Iris, I'm sure of it. With that in mind, I head to So's mansion.
I thought I told you never to show your face here again.
How's the merman? Alright, I don't think there's going to be any filler here. We're in Dowland mode.
I didn't come here for Shoko today. I didn't come here for Iris either. Instead, I'm here for a girl who looks like Iris. Did you kill her?
Date, look.
I knew it. You killed her, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had enough of your shit, Congressman! You wanted to check on the body of the girl you killed. That's why you were at the cold storage warehouse 2 days ago. is Renju Okiura? You know where he is, don't you? You were at an Okiura fishery warehouse for a reason. There's definitely a connection between you two. And that's not all. Number 89 called your secretary. The same number 89 that Renju escaped with.
Right in
Tell
this
me, where
path,
is Renju?
Pooter is a bad guy. Poots. A gang of bodyguards stormed out of the mansion. Instantly they surrounded me.
We'd like to ask you to please leave.
Damn it, So!
There's nothing we can do. We did arrive without a warrant. We were technically trespassing. If he had called the police, we would be in a predicament. We would have been detained immediately. Who would look after Iris then? Do you intend to leave your responsibility with Mizuki and Ota?
Bruh, it's first off it's a police officer, and then it's just it's trespassing.
We still have our lead.
Lead?
Before I explain, we need to discuss the corpse in the cold storage warehouse.
It might kill the afternoon, but like,
Because she is frozen solid, we could call her All Ice or Alice. What do you think? Alice and Iris. I believe it fits nicely.
Alright, Alice. What
for
about
all ice.
Someone might be able to identify her.
who?
Allow me to ask you 3 questions.
Oh my god.
Again with this?
First question. You have seen this corpse more than twice. 3 times, in fact. When was the first time?
Mizuki. When did we psych? I thought it was Friday night, but I guess Saturday.
3 days ago. Saturday night when I synced at Abyss.
Yes, in the Somnium world, we saw the frozen corpse of a girl. Question 2. Who is the girl?
It's Alice, not me.
Now I know. That girl was probably Alice.
Most likely, yes. So we have technically known Alice for 3 days. One last thing. The final question. In which Somnium did we see Alice?
My girl Mizuki.
My roommate.
S tier character in this game.
Exactly.
Why do you guys say roommate?
You mentioned something about Mizuki's
Aren't you like your guardian?
some kind of prophecy.
You can just say like your kid at this point. It's been 4 years.
Are nonsense. Dreams are not made of the future. They are made from the past. Therefore,
Mizuki has seen Alice before.
there is no other explanation.
Aiba, where is
I don't
Mizuki?
believe she's talking to us in this timeline.
Met with Iris yesterday, at Kume Shrine.
The shrine? Why would she be there?
Unknown. She is supposed to be looking for Iris.
Okay, let's go.
Date,
Did you find Iris?
if I did, I would have told you already.
Right.
Iris used to like this shrine. She told me about all her memories here. We used to come here all the time. You know those steps in the front? We would sit there together and talk about things. Like what gluten-free means, and eyelash extensions, and aerial yoga. And we would talk about all our problems together. Sometimes we would talk late into the night. So I thought that maybe she'd be here. But it looks like I was wrong.
I think Iris is with Renju.
With Daddy? Daddy?
Yeah. Her note mentioned her most trusted person. That's probably Renju.
Yeah. I remember that mermaid girl saying something like that.
He was looking for Iris.
Does that mean that Daddy is the one who called for Iris?
It could be. So I need to know where he is.
But I haven't been able to get a hold of him. I think he's searching Akihabara right now. Last time he checked in, he said he didn't have anything.
Mizuki, I have something very important to ask you.
Come Mizuki by the frozen corpse we called Alice.
You've seen her before, haven't you? 3 days ago, I saw her in your Somnium. The body of a girl who looks like Iris, Alice. Your dreams are built from your memories. So that corpse... Mizuki, please, answer me. Iris's life is at stake.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come Mizuki everything. Renji ran off with Assassin 89. How did not get connected to Soba Sajima? And that said, Sajima is linked to Alice's murder.
I need to know everything about Alice. If I find out who she is, I might be able to solve the mystery of Renju and number 89. And that might lead me to Iris.
And she looked down at her feet and quietly, to see agony in her face. Silence lingered, unless she just steeled herself lifted her head and spoke.
Okay, I'll tell you about Alice. It was about a month ago. I saw my daddy crying in the president's office at Lemniscate. I was peeking through a crack in the door so he didn't see me. Daddy got up, then got into his car and drove away. I had never seen him like that before. I was curious, so I followed him in a taxi. That led me to the cold storage warehouse. He got out of his car and went inside. I followed right behind him, quietly. Daddy was standing next to the forklift in the back. I hid behind a shelf. I watched Daddy open the hood of the forklift, and then, after a little bit, he left. I wanted to know what he was looking at. I went over to the forklift and I looked under the hood myself. And then...
You saw Alice's dead body.
But at the time, I thought it was Iris. The corpse looked exactly like Iris. I couldn't believe she was dead. I just couldn't. So I went to Iris's house.
Huh? What's wrong, Mizuki?
Iris was alive. I thought I was going crazy. Or dreaming. I tried to convince myself that it was just a hallucination. What do you mean? I couldn't just ask. It would have changed everything. I thought that as long as I stayed quiet, everything would be okay. I didn't see a dead body. I wasn't even at the warehouse. I repeated that to myself over and over and tried to forget the whole thing.
Repressed memories are often the subject of somnia.
That's why Alice showed up during the sync.
What was I supposed to do? Daddy would have been in trouble.
So you kept quiet this whole time?
Yeah. I actually met with one of the higher-ups at Daddy's company last night, before I went to Matsushita Diner.
Why?
Because you asked about the cold storage. I was curious. I asked around some, and... I found out that Daddy was managing the warehouse before I was born. After my grandpa died, Daddy took over. In exchange for managing the warehouse, he gave ownership of the company to someone else. I guess he didn't want to let this place go. Or maybe he couldn't let it go. That's more accurate, I think. but I understand why. Inside that warehouse was...
Alice.
On paper, Daddy has nothing to do with Okiura Fishery. Daddy was still managing the warehouse. And he was the only one allowed in there, too. That was part of the agreement when he gave up the company. And the whole thing had to be a secret. He really stressed that point.
Hey, Mizuki. How long was he managing the warehouse?
For 18 years. That's what the man told me.
18 years? From that long ago?
Yes.
Iba, I need an emergency search. Missing persons from 18 years ago.
Understood.
Huh?
Date, I found her. The girl who looks like Iris.
What's her name?
Monica Iwai, 19 years old at the time of her disappearance. A graduate of Eitoku High School.
What?
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now. When I was young, I lost someone very important to me. Monica Iwai, my best friend. One of the only friends I had.
Alice is... Monica. Hitomi's friend who went to the same school as her and Renju. But why? Monica's body was found just now. But even back then, Hitomi knew. She knew that Monica was already dead. Iba, where is Hitomi right now?
At headquarters for questioning. MPD still believes that the body they discovered was Iris.
Got it. Contact boss. Have them bring Hitomi to Abyss.
Roger that.
Oh, see you, child. Don't be late for dinner. You're buying?
You're awfully calm. You saw the corpse of your daughter today. You were called into the station to confirm her identity. And yet here you are, cool as a cucumber, even though you lost your precious daughter. Shall I guess why? Because that body isn't Iris. And you know it.
Are you serious?
Yes. Her name is Monica Iwai. She was killed when she was 19. She went to the same high school as you, and she was your best friend. Isn't that right? Nothing to say for yourself? Hiding something? Maybe you killed her with Renju.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, now you're talking. But we know Renju committed a crime. Illegally disposing of a body. And we can prove it. The cold storage warehouse where the body was found. It's been managed by Renju Okiura for almost 2 decades now. And witness testimony proves that he knew about the corpse there. And if I'm not mistaken, you knew about the corpse too, Hitomi. You and Renju have been close since high school. It's not too much of a stretch to think that he told you about the body. And I remember you telling me once.
When I was young, I lost someone very important to me. Monica Iwai, my best friend. One of the only friends I had.
How did you know that she was dead?
I didn't.
Don't play dumb. I know you're hiding something. You know what happened 18 years ago. And you knew she was pregnant. You were her best friend. Of course you would have known. Tell me. Tell me everything.
Date, she's not going to talk. Sync with her.
Date, I'm sure I've told you enough times by now, but please
Buttes.
come back within 6
Buttes,
minutes.
please.
I can't promise you that, Pewter.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not coming back until I find something.
Date, you can't.
Why not?
You know why.
Because it will take over my consciousness?
Yes.
But if it's only a little...
No, not even a little. If the sync passes the critical point, the damage will be irreparable.
But what does that mean exactly?
No.
I'm not hiding anything.
Then let's try it. Let's experiment with my mind. Then we'll know for sure what'll happen.
Ugh, fine. I'll just say it.
Yeah?
Pewter, tell him.
Me?
You know more about it than I do.
Well...
Sorry, what was that talking to someone?
Well, first off, 6 minutes is not a hard limit. It could be 7, or even 8.
I don't care about the exact time. I'm asking what happens if you go beyond the limit.
Do you remember the story I told you about the egg?
Yeah, why?
If you imagine an egg as your consciousness, the yolk is what goes into the subject's brain. The white remains inside your shell. If you go beyond the limit, your yolk will not be able to return to its shell.
Because the subject's mind will start to take over the sinker's consciousness, right? I know that part already.
Indeed, but there's more to it. After the yolk is devoured, the egg white is brought through the machine next.
Huh?
And there's more. It's not just the sinker's brain. The same process eventually occurs in the subject's as well. In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced. Mind, consciousness, memory, they are traded. Switched.
Yeah, I get it.
The human brain has what can be understood as a memory limit. One brain can only hold one consciousness, and it can only contain one person's memories.
Now you know everything. Talk to the boss.
I was unaware of this as well. This information is not on any accessible databases.
We had to prevent the possibility that the system could be exploited.
Exploited? But
Even if it wasn't you, someone else might try. We didn't tell any sinkers this, including you. Project Sync is a top-secret project. It's a matter of national security. Even sinkers are on a need-to-know basis. Think about it. What if you were kidnapped by bad people who tried to make you talk?
bad people?
A criminal organization, spies from another country, those people. If you blabbed about Project Sync, the entire country might be at risk. You heard it from Pewter. The sync machine isn't just for entering a person's somnium. It can also be used to swap bodies between two people. Imagine what this machine would be used for in the wrong hands. That's why I didn't tell you. We can't let this secret get out.
Yes, we just saw this.
Swapping bodies between two people? trading minds?
You remember what I told you earlier? Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I got it.
Are you really okay?
I'm fine. Start it.
Understood. Let us begin.
God?
I am the god of fire. I burn erotic books with my flames of red-hot anger.
My, how ruthless.
Ow!
Are you okay?
That hurt.
I'll let you read this porno mag if it'll make you feel better.
I will burn it.
The fog is making it pitch black.
The light over there. Is that a firefly? Somnium scan. Activate.
Mental lock 1. Mental lock 2. What the heck is that? Mental lock 3. Just 3? Boggy. Oh, 4. Are you sinking in the mountain?
It disappeared?
No, wait. It might still be nearby.
A flower bud. I cannot identify the variety. I cannot identify the type of flower in this state. It appears to be some kind of lily. A flower bud. Worship it?
Yeah,
I will pray to it as though I am mourning the dead. It bloomed a little?
I don't know what caused it, but it's better than nothing happening.
God, he's good. Lit it up.
A hole in a tree. I may be able to fit inside. I am not going to be eaten or anything, right? Whoa! I fell, but I am still in the forest.
It's darker than before.
What? Is someone there?
Hey!
That voice is...
Find out where that voice is coming from.
Renju Okiura. Renju, what are you doing in a place like this?
He won't answer.
Not in a place like this, at least. Renju...
5 minutes left, Date.
He looks young, but this is definitely Renju Okiura as he appeared approximately 20 years ago.
That's a long time ago.
Renju... This is for neglecting your responsibility to Mizuki, you coward! No use. I can't hit him.
This Renju is still a teenager. He wouldn't know Mizuki yet.
Renju...
How to avoid the horny.
Ooh, Renju! Come get some of this. Come on!
Sorry, that was a bad idea.
Don't apologize. This is Renju's fault for having bad taste.
I mean, I figured you were it because you were the, you know, second mental lock.
Rock. Do what?
Just try.
Understood.
Well, did you find anything?
No, of course not. A rock.
4 minutes.
But it's a rock.
Gods live in the rocks too, you know.
A rather Japanese way of thinking.
Just try it.
If you insist.
How was it? You've cleared your head, right?
Yes. I now feel a sense of emptiness.
Guess it was a waste of time.
I do not want to hear that from you. A hole in the... I am not going to be sucked in, am I?
That's strange. It should have worked.
Did you want to see me get sucked in?
Yeah.
A rock. This is a simple rock, but...
Is there any kind of pattern?
No, there does not appear to be.
Alright. There's rocks, trees, and Renju. We did all the opposite for Renju. Am I losing it? That's Renju. Hole in tree, rock, rock, rock. Alright, rock 1.
3 minutes, Date.
Finish off rock 3.
Understood. My foot hurts.
I see.
My foot hurts!
Sorry.
A hole. I cannot see anything. It is unnaturally dark.
Anything else?
I do not see anywhere that air could be flowing from.
I don't see it being Scream, but we can try Scream.
The Emperor is naked!
Okay. What about the Empress, though?
The Empress is naked!
Sounds like my kind of empire. Let's move there. I don't see anything.
Nor do I.
Going to tackle this tree. You cannot stop me.
Understood. I will do my best. This is a picture of Hitomi, Renju, and Monica.
Everyone is so young. Hold on to that.
Bro, I'm just gonna restart because we know what we're doing, and never mind. There we go. Good, actually, I will do it. We wasted so much time there. Hole in tree?
A hole in...
Get on in there. I will tackle the tree. And then talk to Renju.
5 minutes left, Date.
Renju Okiura. Renju, look at this.
Oh, dude, he's moving.
Wait!
Renju, stop!
Renju, stop. Oh, we tried all we could.
What is this hole? It wasn't here earlier.
Is it gopher?
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Understood. Huh. It's even more difficult to see now.
Stop that.
Another voice? Monica! That's
Hitomi.
Hitomi's voice.
Where is she? Look for her.
4 minutes.
What?
We've seen one of those before, and I completely ignored it. Can I move rock 2 in front of this person?
Do what?
Just try.
Under?
I'm gonna go with no. I'll go find hole in tree and do that instead. Seems to be the obvious choice, I guess. Hole in tree 3 is over here.
Another hole in a tree. About as big as a capybara, I estimate.
Those are pretty big.
Hitomi! Date likes Hitomi!
Hey, what are you trying to say? Hitomi won't remember this sink. But still.
Hitomi stopped. That's Hitomi.
What does it tell me?
Hitomi, what are you doing here?
Guess she can't hear you. She looks like she's looking for something.
That's Hitomi. Hitomi Sagan. Like Renju, this must have been approximately 20 years ago.
Something must have happened around that time.
That's Hitomi.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
Hitomi? I see.
Well?
She dresses modestly, but underneath she has a curvaceous body.
Good work, Aiba. That's good to know. Well, you could, you know, touch her.
But in this Somnium, she might be a minor.
Her
She
stomach.
is? It was
Check
20
how
years
soft
ago?
her stomach is.
If you say so.
She's 36, I believe?
I touched it.
So, what's the softness situation? Tell me.
It was soft. Nice and pliant. No noticeable abdomen.
Okay, I gotcha. I'm gonna go tackle the tree again. Let's see what happens.
A hole.
Go ahead and peek inside.
What is this? A web of some kind?
Well, it would have to be a spider web.
I have web on my face. A hole. Leave it to me.
Oh, we got a new one. No, no, there was only 3. We got stick handed.
Date, perhaps.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it added a new one or replaced it.
You have 1 minute left.
I won't get sucked in. Hmm?
Okay, I'm gonna reload. I'm sorry. I didn't expect them to add an extra. I did not expect an extra option added afterwards when there's only 3 to begin with. That's just me.
4 minutes.
A cord bracelet has appeared on my wrist. Perhaps it belongs to someone.
might be important. Hold on to it.
3 minutes, Date.
Reverse doctor.
That's Hitomi. Do you remember this? Wait!
Follow her!
On it!
We need a child. So I will become the mother. Shook it tone me? I thought she shook us. This one's another leaf pile, or like another leaf bud, right? Flower bud? That's the word. Hole? No, okay, we're gonna go to a hole. Rock. Rock. Rock.
A large hole. If there is nothing left to do... Ah! Date, what is going on?
I don't know, it's pitch black. I can't see anything.
I see. Then it is not me malfunctioning.
Can you feel your way around?
I can try.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
Who put these rocks here?
A licorice flower. I feel a little awkward, but... It's useless. The roots must be strong. It won't budge. Let's do it. Another hole.
Oh no, please. It's half a minute.
A large hole.
Okay, no, we got it. We're just
Come
gonna...
this far. I will not protest now.
Skirt.
That is...
It'd be a Tuesday.
Hitomi, I think I know what happened 18 years ago. You three were close. You, Monica, and Renju. Monica was murdered. You and Renju found the body in the mountains, and you brought it back to the cold storage warehouse. And my guess is So Sajima killed Monica. I've seen inside his head before, using this machine.
I see. If you know that much, then there's no point in hiding it anymore. I'll tell you the truth.
So you're telling me Iris's hair is natural color? I guess it could be coincidence that I had the same color. 18 years ago.
Wait, you're going to see So?
Yes. I want to talk to him in person.
No, you can't.
Why not? Are you worried about my body? You don't have to worry about that. I'm totally fine.
But your stomach is still...
Oh, my doctor told me that's normal. Your stomach doesn't go down right away after giving birth.
I'm not worried about your body. I don't know how to explain it. So doesn't care about you. And especially not your child.
I haven't told him about giving birth. He contacted me for the first time in a while.
So that's why.
He wants to know about the baby.
He must be panicking. If anyone ever finds out his mistress had his baby, his political career would be over.
It's not like it was an affair.
His wife passed away after giving birth to his son, right?
Mr. Date?
It would still be a big scandal. He impregnated a girl who just graduated high school. Don't you see how that looks? He knew how the public would take it.
Wait, you're like 16 and you have this house?
Deal with it.
Where your parents died?
There's no way he'll accept that child.
It's okay. I told him that I won't cause any trouble. But could you take care of the baby? Just for a little bit? I'll be right back.
Fine. But take this with you, just in case. It's a GPS transmitter. Just to be extra safe.
I really don't think I'll need it. But okay, if it'll make you feel better.
I don't know what Monica saw in So. She said he was kind and loyal, that he wanted to change Japan, but I didn't understand any of it. We tried to convince her to break up with him so many times. She never listened, and it ended in tragedy. What happened next, you already know. Neither Renju or I saw it happen, so I don't know how much of this is accurate, but we could guess what happened.
And he had grades 20 years ago? Peter, give me a hand here. Putes. They left me. What the heck, Putes?
Date, you said that Monica was killed by So, right? But that's not true. Monica was killed by Saito Sejima, the son of So and his late wife. Saito was 12 at the time.
12?
Yes,
But why would a little boy do that?
I don't know. I can't imagine. Renju told me.
But you said he wasn't there.
He heard some of this from the Kumakuras. Renju had connections with them.
How did the Kumakuras know?
So told them. He told her to move overseas. He said he'd pay for everything. So contacted his friend, the chairman of the Kumakuras. He asked him to dispose of the body and left the scene with Saito.
The incident was 18 years ago. That means the chairman was Rohan, not Moma.
Rohan went to the scene of the crime?
Yes, with some of his men. Again, neither Renju or I saw this. We were just waiting at my house for Monica to return. But she never came back. We tried to call her cell, but it didn't connect. But then, we saw movement on the GPS.
The GPS Renju gave to Monica?
Yes. At first, we thought she was on her way home. But we saw the GPS getting further and further away from the city. Renju and I got nervous, and we decided to follow it.
What about the baby?
We couldn't take the baby with us, so Renju gave the baby to the mob doctor he trusted.
Those are Kumakura men.
We didn't dare move. We couldn't speak. We were barely breathing. We could only watch as it all unfolded. I knew what the hole was for, but I couldn't move. Couldn't do anything. I remember my heart beating so fast. Before long.
We good here?
Yeah. Cover her.
Just a minute. Beautiful.
Sakura people covered Monika's body, then left. Renju and I ran over and dug up the grave with a tree branch. What we saw. Monica! Monica! We need to call the police.
No, we can't. Not yet.
Why not?
You don't know who those guys are. They would do anything to keep this hidden. I've seen it happen myself. I know what they're capable of. Anyway, think about it. Why would they do this? They thought Monica and her baby were going to be trouble. Monica's stomach was still pretty big. I don't think they know that she gave birth already. What do you think they'd do if they found out? They would take her and kill her too. And then, they'd come for us. They'd make it look like we disappeared. All of us would be gone.
Renju convinced me. He knew more about the dirty underbelly of society than anyone. He knew when something couldn't be handled by the police. He said that they would do anything to kill the child. And I believed him. We had to protect Monica's baby. We had to, no matter what.
Okay, I understand.
I decided to trust him. We couldn't leave Monica's body in the forest. We cleaned her up and took her to the cold storage warehouse.
This warehouse is owned by Okiura Fishery. My father runs it. But it's not in use right now. They're moving operations to a better area. They're actually looking for buyers right now. But don't worry, I'll take over the warehouse.
Are you sure?
Yes. Don't worry. I'll keep everyone out. Everyone but you, of course. I'll give you a key. You can come visit any time you want to see Monica.
Monica, don't worry about the baby. I'll protect her, no matter what. And don't worry about them, either. The people who did this to you, I will never forgive them. I'm sorry, Monica. Sorry. I'm sorry. Monica.
Steam is rising from the tea. Coffee table. I don't think we can turn that far, man.
The mob doctor took care of everything. I have the birth certificate, and I even picked up a mother and baby book. It wasn't cheap, but you don't have to worry about it. Just submit the birth certificate, and everything will be taken care of. You look worried.
I feel like I'm somehow betraying Monica. She was the one who gave birth.
Soon, you won't even be able to think about that. Because a war is about to begin.
A war?
Between you and the baby. You won't get a good night's sleep for a long time. You might even start to resent Monica for all this.
Really?
Anyway, as soon as you submit the certificate, you will officially be her mother. Be sure to raise her responsibly. I'll help. Occasionally.
Occasionally, huh?
I don't really want to discuss this, but there's something you need to know. After talking to the Kumakura gang, I found out who killed Monica. So's son, Saito Sejima.
How? Saito was only...
12 years old.
Why? Why would a little boy do that?
I don't know the motive, but I know it's true. So used his connections with the Kumakuras to cover up for his son. And all of the evidence of this scandal, of course.
I'll never forgive them. So, his son, or the Kumakuras.
I feel the same way. But you can't think about revenge now. You and the baby can't lead a life like that. Just bear with it for now. The opportunity will come. So wait until the right moment. Okay?
I was thinking about her name. How about Iris?
Iris?
The goddess of rainbows in Greek mythology? And the colored part of your eye.
And the flower, too.
Right.
I thought it might have something to do with your name, Hitomi.
Not only that, it's also for Monica's name. The kanji for Monica.
Because she had her eye stolen. Oh.
Or love. And Monica reminds me of Manako, Japanese for eye.
So both names have something to do with the eye.
And I, which means love, will always be a part of Iris.
So that's how you came up with the name?
Don't you think it's nice?
Iris. Iris. Yeah, I really like it.
And so my life with Iris began.
Sir, is not AI the Somnium files? Is I the Somnium files? What the frick?
Waking up in the middle of the night to change diapers or feed her. Iris wasn't a good sleeper. I had to sing her lullabies to put her to sleep. And I always needed to put her to bed so carefully. It would only take 10 seconds before she'd start crying again. So I had to pick her up, sing her another lullaby, then put her back to bed. After doing this over and over, before I knew it, the morning sun would creep in through the windows. But even with all that, I cherished every single day. My hatred for those responsible never went away. But my hands were full, raising Iris. I devoted myself to her. I never thought about anything else. Eventually, my desire for revenge just faded away.
Are you okay?
Mama, I'm wet. I'm wet. Sweepy, up?
Is it common for people to just like omelet? Like, does this child eat enough omelets in their life? At the age of whatever they're at now to crave omelet?
Mommy, you are so good at dancing.
I've only 3 in my entire life.
Mommy, pancakes are done. Sorry, I burned it a little. Mommy, why can't I dance at the stores? can't help it. My body dances on
They
its
didn't
own.
want to make a new model for each year.
Don't more people come to barbecues? How come it's always you and me? Hey, Mommy. How long will it take my bone to get better? I want to dance again with everybody. Hey, Mommy, do you like my shirt? Look, we're matching! Mommy, thank you for everything! I love you more than anything in the whole wide world! Mommy, look! I drew it!
The Okonomiyaki War, huh?
That was so fun! We should do it again!
Just ruined dinner.
The food or the food fight?
Both!
I'm gonna have to say no to the latter, sweetie. It took forever to clean.
But Uncle said he wants to do it again, too! Hey, Mommy.
Yes?
Are you gonna marry him?
What are you talking about?
As long as it's Uncle, I'm all for it! I say go for it!
I would always question myself. Could I keep living a lie? I had promised Monica that I would avenge her. But I couldn't work up the courage. And maybe Renju was exaggerating, but there's no statute of limitations for murder in Japan. If we showed Monika's body to the police, So would be punished by the law, and the Tsujima's and Kumakura's crimes would be uncovered. But that would mean Iris's secret would be uncovered as well. That's what I was really worried about. I didn't want Iris to know that So was her father. And even more than that, I didn't want her to know that I'm not her real mother. That's the real reason I've been silent for 18 years. I didn't want to lose Iris. But fate can be cruel. God used other means to take Iris from me. In January, Iris suddenly collapsed. It was caused by a malignant tumor in her brain. There's nothing we can do. She only has a year to live at most. That's what the doctor said, if you remember me telling you. But what I didn't tell you is that there was an experimental new treatment. It was...
Some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said.
Nanomachines. Nanomachines could remove the tumor, but the procedure would be so expensive. With my salary, it wasn't something I could afford. I thought hard about it, about how I could get my hands on that kind of money, but I couldn't think of a solution. Time passed. Before I knew it, it was November. Iris's symptoms worsened. Her time was running out. I was starting to panic. I couldn't sit here and waste time while Iris... In any case, I had to get the money before it was too late. So I thought of a plan to blackmail So Tsujima. Two days ago, on Saturday night, I called So and invited him to come to the warehouse. He agreed to come. After I hinted at what happened 18 years ago, I had prepared everything, hiding behind the forklift until So came. When he finally arrived, he walked over to the workbench where I had laid Monika's body. He lifted the cloth and looked down. He whimpered and stumbled back. Even he was phased, seeing a body he thought he got rid of 18 years ago. Not to mention it was the body of a woman he was in a relationship with. A woman his own son killed. He reacted exactly as I expected he would. I had prepared a recording and sent it to his phone.
I know what happened 18 years ago. Everything. I know who did it, and I know she had a baby inside her. You can probably guess what I'm going to say next. Be prepared to pay for my silence. I will tell you the exact amount later. And don't tell anyone about this. Not Saito, not the Kumakuras. If you do anything even remotely suspect, I will go to the press with the truth. Understand?
I told him to keep quiet and cut ties with the Kumakuras. Even if he found out who I was, without the Kumakura gang, he had no power over me. And there's no way he'd risk his political career, not to go after me. I saw So put his phone back into his pocket and run out of the warehouse. I came out of my hiding place to put Monika's body back, but then something unexpected happened. I saw you, Date. I hid behind the forklift before you saw me, and when you were done looking around...
Didn't we have our gun drawn at that point?
It can't be. Iris.
Losing consciousness? Are you okay? Oh, I'm gonna be right back. Oh, sorry. I felt dizzy. I'll be right back.